Hey, what's up? So I'm making this video in case I actually do want to make a Steist dorm tour video, but as you can tell, maybe you can, maybe you can't, but this is the end of my first year and I actually just finished moving out, so the room is pretty much bare bones again, and I'll just be giving you guys a little quick rundown if you're a prospective student coming to Northeastern of what it will look like if you dorm in Stetson Hall East. So first off, you'll start off with the door and you'll have two closet spaces, one for each side. If you have a corner room, you'll only have one. Then the next thing is that above, you'll have a good amount of storage space. Those are pretty deep, so put cleaning supplies, anything that you don't really need out up there. Comes with two standard shelves that you can adjust to any height. I thought these were pretty useful for putting decorations up. Next comes the desks, pretty standard, has 3 drawers. Comes with a little roulier chair. And then you have these 4 dressers, and they have a lot of space inside of them. You can honestly fit all your t-shirts in one, all your pants in one, socks and like underwear and stuff. And then I guess put my towels there, so that's what I did. Then you have this pretty hard, gross mattress. It's like plastic material and it kind of sucks. So I would definitely recommend getting a mattress topper or something. Yeah, and then the other thing that you might want to be aware of is that there's like just a concrete like backing. There's no backboard, so if you need to have a headboard or something or backboard for your bed, bring one, buy one, make one, something like that. Some kids had a little side hustle doing that. This is like the little heating / AC unit in here. It's kind of crappy, but I mean it does the job in the winter, keeps you nice and warm. This was actually the view from my freshman dorm. Some of them actually had a really nice view of the Prue, which is kind of covered by these trees. Anyways, obviously the same thing for the other side. And so this is kind of what you get for your room in Steist. So it's one of the nicer dorms. I'd say that these rooms are pretty much identical to the ones in the freshman quad that I live in, where there's Stetson East, Stetson West, and Spear Hall. They're all in this little triangular quad, which you'll see, and then there's also a dining hall. Don't have any videos of that, but it's all right. I could probably make a separate video on that maybe next year, but yeah, so this was what it was like living near, and I guess when I get home record what my experience was like living in Steist. So, peace. This is my dad. He's going to my room because we're finished moving out pretty much. But basically, this is a pretty long hallway here. I'll show you guys the bathroom now. Actually, the reason why it was pretty good that I'm doing this tour at the end of the year is because there's like nobody in here pretty much. So these are the bathrooms. They're pretty standard. They keep them pretty clean. There's a bunch of stalls. 2 pretty big ones. Secret stall. Don't tell anybody about this. This one's the pretty big one, but it doesn't look like it's actual stall because it's pretty much seamless. Here you go. Got the sinks. Now these kind of get nasty, but use this one for water, because what I actually did at the beginning of the year is I cleaned it out, the little thing. So if you watched my video, you'll know. These are some air purifiers, like a thing for paper towels. And then this is what the shower looks like. Definitely bring some shower sandals. There's a nice hook up here, which I use to put a tote bag on, and I would put my clothes in it and a towel, and then I put like my shower caddy here. And so these are like the showers right here. They're all pretty standard, all the same. They never end up replacing this light, which kind of sucked, but not my problem. And then there's this one that's longer. There's actually another shower in the handicap stall over here, which is right here, but it's kind of gross. And I mean, the shower water pressure isn't that good. So that's pretty much a bathroom tour of Steist. Pretty standard dorm bathroom. They keep it pretty clean. They clean it like once, I'd say once a day, maybe 2 times sometimes. As you can see, there's people moving out and stuff. And then here's like the trash room. And since I lived on the first floor, there are these pretty cool study rooms. Right here, let me see. There's nobody in here, obviously, because everybody's gone, but this is what the study rooms look like, identical on the other side. And then I'll take you guys upstairs so you guys can look at the common areas. So here is an elevator. There's 4 total floors in Steist. The first one was co-ed, the second one is all guys, and then the third and fourth are all girls. So the way it works is the ground floor is where the laundry room is, which I guess I'll go after because why not? I want to give you guys a pretty in-depth tour. Third floor, every other on the odd floors has study rooms. There's a bunch on the third, way more than the first, and then on the even ones they have these common spaces. So let's head out. And so that's kind of what the common space looked like. It's really small. Let me hit this real quick. Oh, that fucking sucks. Alright, I think somebody yoinked the elevator from me, so I might have to walk down. Alright, I'm taking you guys through the stairwell to get to the basement, or like the place where the laundry rooms are. And so now we're here at the laundry room. What's up? It's Edward. Yeah, on a second. I'm just making a quick little dorm tour. This is my boy Edward. He lives on the first floor with me, yeah.
Last day, we're out. Have a good summer.
Yeah, so this is what the laundry room kind of looks like. It's got some dryers over there. Problem is that they kind of suck, so just be prepared for that. And you can use your Husky ID to pay for laundry right there. And then that pretty much concludes the actual work itself. I'll show you guys the lobby, and that's about it. So anyways, transition that. Yeah, it's pretty much that basement area. There's like not that much stuff here. Other like, I guess, off-campus upperclassmen who don't actually have laundry in their building, they use it sometimes. So that's when it can get a little hectic in the room, but I'd say best days to do your laundry are the weekdays, because the weekend, by then everybody's panicking to do stuff. So I'd say Mondays, literally nobody's in there. And so yeah, so I'll just give you guys a little tour of the regular lobby, and that's pretty much the entirety of East. There's actually some tours going on right now, but I'll show you guys the lobby real quick. Alright, so this is pretty much what the East lobby looks like right here. There's like a little pool table on this side with like a nice view of like this little East circle. It's actually where most people come to drop stuff off pretty quick, but you can't park here, so yeah, but if you have your parents sit in the car, you can. Some vending machines right here, and then here's like the common area. There's some couches with a TV, and then this is actually a mail center right here. So if you have some packages, you can pick them up here, or they'll be in Marino, which is the athletic center with recreation stuff. And then you got a little printer here, but this one only actually prints black and white, so be careful about that if you're printing something. And then here is actually another elevator, but that's to get down if you get injured, so you can go down to like the main level or the dining hall. And actually over there, it's a little proctor station, so when you get your Northeastern ID to get into your dorm, you'll have to click in and sign your friends in. And any other outside guests just use like a normal, pretty normal ID that's like government. So here's actually the Stetson East Dining Hall. Now, I wish I did a tour of this earlier in the year, but I didn't because I kind of was lazy with making videos. But this is kind of some of like the dining area. You can't really see it well. And then there's like these main panes that kind of look outside. And there's like a nice little view, which I'll actually go out there real quick just to show you guys. Entrance is over here. Since it's a little locked up right here, I'll just take my camera through it. Basically, that is where you'll go into the dining hall. And there's a few stations. That's the dish rack thing that you do. And there's like 3 main stations. There's actually 4, I think. There's a sandwich table. Actually, it's 5, sorry. Sandwich station. There's like a little grill area. There's 2 more like over that way, and then there's a vegan room with vegetarian options if you're into that type of stuff. Last thing is the outside of East. So this is what I mean by the freshman quad. There's Spear over there, and then to the right is West. There's actually a bunch of campus tours going on right now. It's kind of sucked during the year living here, but I mean, I'm pretty used to it. It's actually a little fountain right there, and then obviously it says Stetson East, and then there's like the cool panes. So actually that side is all East buildings, and then this side is all West buildings, which I'll kind of come real quick to the freshman quad. Also forgot to include this little part really quick. There's these chairs are usually just all over, and people are out here when the weather's good, but most of the weather is like pretty cold, so not too many people out here unless the weather's really nice, like in the beginning of the year or like towards the end. And so now I'm pretty much in the middle of this freshman quad here. If you go all the way down there, that's Light, which is an all-girls building. East is where I lived. This is Spear, and then Stetson West is over here. Let me get closer. So obviously I didn't live here, but the LLC for the year was like the engineering one and a few others. I wasn't exactly sure, I don't remember. But this is like the main area that leads up to STWest. STWest is just short for Stetson West, and Steast is just short for Stetson East. But there's two sides to it, but it's a lot bigger than Steast, and it's pretty much the same. Once again, the rooms are pretty much identical, and they don't have as nice of a common space, but there's actually a field if you go through Spear into the bottom where people play wiffle ball. They kind of just screw around and just have fun with their friends. But honestly, it was a good year, and I really enjoyed being here. The freshman quad is kind of weird, but like these three buildings are like pretty central location to meet up with your friends and stuff. And then actually, if you go from here to there, that is where Merino is, which is the gym. There's a supermarket in there called Walston's that everybody goes to, and just like all of the gym equipment you need, and there's basketball courts, stuff like that. And then there's also another one actually. If I really want to get into depth, I'll probably make another video on that about all of, like the facilities at Northeastern and stuff. But this is just kind of a quick little tour of Steast and like the freshman quad and stuff to kind of get you, I guess, acclimated. If you did get on a campus tour or you live pretty far, this is kind of the best you'll get, because I remember going on YouTube and not really seeing any videos about Steast that were pretty updated. The last one was like 2000 or like 2010s around, so not the best. They've definitely made some upgrades in like the time since they made that video, but once I get home, I can still talk about some more of the points about Steast and what it was like to live in a freshman dorm. Alright, so what's up guys? So I just got home a few hours ago and I started unpacking my stuff from move out. It took me about 4 hours to get home, so now I'm obviously going to be talking about more in depth about living in freshman dorms and living in Steast and what my experience was like. First thing I want to start off talking about in terms of just dorming your first year, you should definitely make a checklist of all the things you're going to need so you don't forget anything at home and you don't really need to buy stuff. Just make like a good checklist of all the things before you leave, like dorm essentials, like obviously like toiletries, I don't know, anything so you can avoid your parents having to ship you stuff, which I'm not gonna lie, I totally forgot to bring snow boots and my parents had to ship me those, as well as like a tie and stuff, so your parents might get annoyed at you if you don't pack everything. Next thing is you should definitely try to get a roommate that you know. Like, you don't have to know them from home or anything, but I definitely recommend going on things like the class pages. If you have any friends of friends that you know are going, just try to get a feel for them and see if you vibe with them, because I think half your experience is really getting a good roommate and getting some to live with somebody that you really get along with. And so in my case specifically, my roommate found me through one of the class pages. He DM'd me and we had some good conversations. I talked to him a few times, obviously, before I fully committed to having him as a roommate, and I definitely recommend you do that, because having a respectable living space where both of you guys agree on stuff in terms of cleanliness, times you guys wake up, times you guys go to bed, obviously sharing responsibility with cleaning the room itself, and just having somebody that you can always be just around and comfortable with is really important. Like, I know some of my friends who went random and didn't get the best housing situation just because they weren't great friends with their roommates, which kind of sucked. And then I know people who went random and made literally the best friends that they could have had. On my floor, one of the kids, there was two kids that I knew, I'll just name drop them because they're super close friends of mine now. Their names were Brody and Talal. They were from really different places, but they were random roommates and they ended up being best friends. So it could go both ways, but if you want to be safe, you should definitely try to find a roommate through one of those resources, and if you can, I think you'll add a lot to your experience. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is getting to know people on your floor. So a lot of people say this, but your first year, you're going to meet most of your friends either in your classes or in clubs, or I mean, mainly for me, I met a lot of my friends on the floor of my dorm. So like I said, there was 4 floors of Steast, and the first floor was co-ed. I made a bunch of my friends on my floor. It was a super awesome environment because everybody got along really well and everybody was willing to just get out there and talk to people. So you should definitely do that. Maybe on the first day you can leave your door open, knock on doors, and just meet people. if you live in Steese, there's the common area with the pool table. That was where I met Brody and Talal playing pool with them. It was a super awesome experience, and I'd highly recommend you do that. Obviously, joining clubs and organizations also will help you with making new friends in any new place. But obviously, it's important to know that at first it's going to be hard to make friends if you're pretty shy. But as long as you get out there, there's going to be a little bit of everything for everybody, and there's definitely going to be people who you really get along with and are on the same wavelength with. So definitely try to get out there and put yourself out there. It's a new place and everybody's new to it, so don't be afraid to reach out and start making new friends. It's honestly going to add a really, really crucial component of your college experience. I guess in that first year where you guys are kind of lost and you guys don't have a lot of support because you are completely new there and you don't really know anybody, I think it's awesome to just go make new friends and just get out there and try new things that you thought you wouldn't have, join things that you wouldn't have thought you would do in high school. Just grow as much as possible. So that's what I'd say in terms of all that stuff. And then in terms of convenience, so I'd say that living in one of those 3 places that I showed you earlier, those are probably most ideal because most of your friends will be in one of those buildings. You might get a building that's a little farther from the rest of the freshman dorms. There is Smith, Melvin, Kennedy, Kerr, and those are all farther down the street. I didn't get to show you guys that, but that one's a little bit farther. And if you don't know already, the way that you decide what dorm you get is based off of something called an LLC, which is a living learning community. And basically what that means is you'll be paired into a building with people of similar interests, hobbies, or some kind of common interest, whether it be your major, like I said, hobbies and interests, or just something that you're looking for. So the one that I was specifically in was called Leaders of the Pack, and that was for people who were interested in leadership roles. There was also a Steese Health Living Community, which was on the floors above us. So there's a bunch of different ones. There's also a business one and a computer science one. There's a ton of them. You can totally check those out on the website and look up which one you think you'll enjoy the most. But here is the thing though, they don't really tell you this, but depending on what LLC you get or you choose, it may dictate what building you're in. Even though they say it's completely random, it's not completely true. I believe that the Computer Science LLC is always in Whitehall and the Business LLC is always in Smith. I definitely say that if you're a computer science major and thinking of dorming in Whitehall, I'd totally advise against it. I don't know if Northeastern's going to come after me for this one, but all of my friends who are computer science majors who dormed in Whitehall did not have the best experience because it was a little gross and it was a pretty outdated building. Try to get a building that is pretty nice. I had some friends who lived in Smith, which was the Business LLC this year. It was pretty nice, but obviously I didn't like it that much, and I was lucky to have gotten Stetson East, which was pretty clean, had no carpets, and it was recently updated, and they also maintained it really well. And the same can be said about the other 2 buildings, which were Stetson West and Spear. I don't know exactly what the LLC for Spear was this year, but there was a good mix of kids, and I knew that the Stetson West one was also another healthy living community as well as the engineering one. So if you are an engineer or looking to do healthy living, those are another 2 great options. I think most of the other LLCs though are randomly selected for the other buildings, but the main ones that are pretty much set in stone, I believe, are the computer science kids being in Whitehall and then the business kids being in Smith, and the rest of them kind of vary, I guess, based on the year. But I'd say if you are computer science, definitely try to stay away from Whitehall because my friends didn't have the greatest experience. Most bathrooms are going to be communal at Northeastern your first year unless you are in the Honors College building, which is East Village, and you'll have a suite style dorm where you'll have 2 rooms connected by a bathroom, which I guess could be nice, but you don't have somebody cleaning it every day. So if you've never cleaned before, get prepared to clean it or it might get gross. And I'd say that's pretty much it about all things dorms and Stetson East for freshman year. There's not much else I can say besides the main points that I pointed out, like first of all the tour, kind of showing you guys and breaking down what it's like to live in the dorm, and then kind of giving you guys general advice on my little notes here. I'll just open it up real quick, like the things you might need for your first year, a roommate situation, trying to pick the best option, and making sure that you guys get along because it's really important to your experience. making new friends on your floor and just trying to create a cohesive environment where all of you guys get along, I think is super awesome, because you'll meet a lot of your like long-term friends for the rest of college, honestly, in that dorm, because I think that I've made it quite a few. And then in terms of convenience, just you might not be able to pick your building, but I'm just saying the ones that are in this little freshman quad are pretty nice, because a lot of events happen there and it's pretty cool. And then the LCs, as I explained, kind of random, but just pick things that you think you'll enjoy so you can find other people who have similar interests. Joining clubs, joining things that you didn't think you would enjoy in high school, and just trying new things is super awesome. So I guess my words of advice for starting off the year, if you're a prospective student or you've already decided to enroll and put a deposit in, just have fun out there. Remember to have fun, but not too much fun. Work hard and balance all the aspects of your life, because if you can balance all of them, it's going to make your experience so much better. So you're not worrying about your grades, but you're also having fun. I think that if I could go back to my first semester, I would have tried to balance it a little better and try to focus a little bit more. But obviously I learned that, and I carried it over the second semester, where I had a lot of fun, but I also balanced it really well with my schoolwork, and I did really well in my classes. So I'd say balance is super, super key to succeeding at Northeastern, because it is a pretty challenging school, but you are going to get out what you put into this school and the experiences and friends you make. If you're willing to put in a lot of effort into Northeastern, Northeastern is going to give you a lot back. If you guys have any other questions about anything Northeastern, just please leave it in the questions in the comments below, and I'll answer any one of those questions that I can. And this coming year, I'll try to make more content. Obviously, I said I was slacking a bit, but anyways, guys, have an awesome one. I'll see you guys in the next video, or whenever I decide to post.